Okay, so within this video, I'm going to show you how to create a new Google site. What you're going to do is you're first going to access your Google Drive. Within your Google Drive, you're going to go ahead and click New. Then you're going to go down to More, and then you're going to look for the application Google Sites. So you'll click Google Sites, and it will actually open up a new tab with a blank Google site. I actually want to take a minute to go back to your Google Drive. And what you're going to see in there is that it's going to show this little purple icon and it'll say Untitled Site. What's really cool about this is that Google Sites are now easily accessible, and you can actually share Google Sites with other colleagues or students, or people or students can actually share them easily with you. So that's the awesome part of the new Google Sites, is that it's now located within your Drive and you can give sharing access with the clicks of a button. So what you'll do when you're in your site is right here is your Untitled Site. So this is the name that you want your students or yourself to create. So this will be a digital portfolio tutorial. So right here it'll say digital portfolio. I have my students come up with like a digital portfolio, and then they put their last name and then their first initial. That way I know when I'm looking through this whose I have and whose I don't have. And you can actually switch this so you can alphabetize them later. So if I were to do last name, comma, first, and then dash digital portfolio, it would allow me to see what students have created this as well. So if you do change it, you have to make sure you change this part as well. So what's really awesome about the new Google Sites is that it's super user-friendly. You can edit your title of your website or site here. You can create your welcome page, so it's just simple text. Gives you the option here to do normal text as a title, heading, or subheading, so the size of font that you wish to have there. For this background of the welcome sign, you can change your image, and what's nice about this is Google does have pre-built images in here. What's also great about this is you can find an image and paste the URL. You can search through Google for a specific image. You can look through your albums, or if you have images within Google Drive that you'd like to use, you can actually import those into that specific piece. So what we're going to do is we'll probably just use just a picture that they have available here. And what it will do is it'll insert it within the background, leaving the title most of the time transparent enough to see past. So if you'd like to reset it, you have header option types. So maybe you don't want the picture, you just want titles. You can do that, and it'll be a simple title. I can go back to my banner, or if I want a larger banner, it allows for more of the picture to be in place as opposed to just a simple banner. So that's the option for you within your headers. What you can do now is you have this awesome organized menu to the right side. You can insert text box. So if I'm breaking up my digital portfolio and I want my students to do a little autobiography, just to tell the reader about who they are, I would do that. Now, what's different about this is in the past sites, you had the ability to customize the font and do different things. Right now, the new Google Sites is limited to font choices. It's just going to go with what is within that specific theme. But what's cool about this is if the students add in a text box, you can see that there's a paint palette as well as a trash can here. If you go to the paint palette, you can actually do like an emphasis, so it can create somewhat of like a section space for that. So for example, I would have my kids have their autobiography there, and then I would have them talk about themselves. And then they have the ability to edit this here. Again, they can choose if they want normal text, title, heading, subheading. They can bold and underline this part, align their font, use bullet points, add links, or delete that box entirely. What also is nice is they can insert images. Those can be from uploads or from searching or within their Google Drive. So there's ability of adding pictures in there. They can embed the URL from another website, or they can upload items in which that they'd like to have within here. What's awesome here is they can actually add in dividers. So if I wanted a separation here, it would customize a line, and then you have the ability to do that as well. So that allows for great separation. I usually just have my kids do this color customized box. What's nice about this is if you have students maybe create YouTube videos or Google Maps, you can actually have them insert these items into their portfolios. And then the greatest part here is you have the ability to insert any of the Google Apps, docs, slides, sheets, forms, or charts easily into your digital portfolio. So for example, if I were to have my kids create a digital portfolio, I would have them create this cover page, and then I would go to the second tab here where you have pages. So the first tab that we have, or first page that we have, would be the home page. And if I wanted to create a new page, maybe it's Unit 1, and then you can have your Unit 1 name here, and you'll click Done. So this will kind of be like an introduction to that specific page. Again, it's going to default as just a header. It's not going to allow for a picture in the background, but if you'd like to change that right here where it says header type, you can make a large banner, or excuse me, a banner or a larger banner. And again, you have the ability to customize your image. So again, you can select an image and change it to be whatever you'd like it to be. So that is the option there. Now, there's a number of ways you can organize your curriculum. You can actually insert directly within this unit and have the students create subheaders, subpage, or not pages, subheaders, and separate their content like that. Or you can actually have them create subpages. So for example, if your Unit 1 is pretty lengthy and you have subunits within that umbrella of that unit, you can have subunit 1 here. Now notice it actually appears within your bar, your horizontal navigation bar up here, as Unit 1 name and subunits. Well, we actually want that subunit to be underneath as a subpage. So what you're going to do here is with this subunits page, you're going to hold down on your mouse and you're going to drag it up to where it says Unit 1 name, and you're going to see a blue line with a circle, and then you're going to release your mouse and it will actually appear as a subpage now. So if I were to move over here and see what is underneath Unit 1, I would have that subunit. And then you can create subunits there and have your curriculum organized this way. So it really just depends on, one, how you want to lay out your work, and two, what you're trying to achieve. What also is nice about this is you have the ability to actually change the way you have your navigation displayed. So if you prefer horizontal navigation where it's horizontal across here, if you don't, over here, if you move your mouse towards the top, there is a settings wheel, and you can do side navigation. So maybe you want side navigation, and that would mean that I have the 3 bars and a drop down, and then I would have side navigation as opposed to that horizontal navigation. So it just depends upon preference, but that is an option for you as well. Now, the last thing that I want to show you within the 3 bars up here is the themes option. Right now we're on the simple option, and it does give you the type of text that you'd like to see within your theme, but also it gives you the colors. What colors would you like it to display? So there is some customizing available for you. It just depends on what it is that you're looking for. So there is some features to make it unique and original at this current moment, but I know Google will come up with some really good things in the future for us to see. So that's just things that the kids can use to customize and make it their own. And now the last part I want to show you is how to insert and how easy it is to insert items within the Google Apps. So if I needed my students to insert a document into their digital portfolio, something that they've created through Google Docs or anything really within their Google Drive, I would have them just select what it would be. So for example, if I wanted them to show me their work on a specific item, I gotta find a good one. Let's go ahead and do this one. So I'm going to insert this in. I select it, insert, and then the students have the ability to insert that document here. What's nice about this is there's this blue bar that surrounds the document, and you have the ability to maneuver it. So maybe I want it a little bit smaller. Maybe it's a 1-page assignment, and I want to be able to see it in full length. This is the entire Google document, and I can display it as such. So for example, if I wanted to add maybe in a Google Slides presentation, I would click on this and it would appear here. Again, I can maneuver these, so if this actually fits right here, I can drop it there and things can actually be side by side. So you have the real option to customize these and present them how you'd like. Now, for example, if I wanted my kids to organize their content a little better because it just looks like it's all over the place, again, that's where I would use my text box, and maybe I want them to create like some subheaders. I would allow them to do so. I'd say, maybe could you customize it a little bit? And then the students would have the option. Now, what you can do after these are created, you can just drag them and drop them where you'd like them to be, and then it'll actually create nice nice little subheaders for you. So if I want sample 1 underneath that, I want it to be a subheader, and then I can just drop items in. So it really allows for customization. Now, the last part that you're going to do is, if you actually want access as a teacher, you can add editors and you can become an editor to their specific website. I would actually not allow this to happen because you actually want to see what the kid's doing. You don't want to, be the overwriter and organize their content when it's really their student voice that's in this. So what you want the kids to do is actually go to this publish button. So if you click publish, the students have the ability to create their URL. So again, I kind of stay true to the name of the site. So mine would be Calderon J, and then I would say bio portfolio. Okay. And then you want who can visit your site? Anyone at HesperiaUSD.org. I would really use the domain. If you are okay and you would like to share with anyone on the web, that is fine. But again, these are more school-related sites. If you would like it to make it public, you can as well. But I really stay under the umbrella of HesperiaUSD.org. But again, you can always change this. It doesn't have to stay true forever. And then once you're done with that, you'll click Publish. And then you have the ability to see the work. And what I do for my students is I have them go to this drop-down menu here next to Publish to the right, and I go to View Publish Site, and it allows the students to see the portfolio as a whole, as if I were looking at it. But we are actually under the subunit page, so I'm going to click on the home page, and this is what we started with. The students have the ability now to look at their work and see everything that they've put into the unit, even the year, and just different things like that. So it's a very nice collective piece. So going back to the homepage, now how do I get my students' portfolios within a specific place to look at them over time? So what I have my kids do, as they're viewing their portfolio, this is their URL. I have them copy this, and I just created a very simple Google form for them to fill out. So I will actually attach just a copy of my digital portfolio Google form that I have them fill out. So it's very simple. They fill out their last name, their first name, and then they give me that URL from their preview option. And this is what I collectively get back in return. I actually just get a spreadsheet that has all their links to them. So if I were to grade my students' digital portfolio or look to see where it is they're at, I would just click on this. It would open up their page, and then it has their information here. So we actually did Unit 5, which was our last unit. And again, the students get to customize this. They get to put their own personality in here. And this was very true to maybe like an interactive notebook. We had warm-up questions. They had fill in the blank notes that they did with me. We had summaries, just simple review questions for me to see what it is that they were doing. But what was really cool was towards the end, actually, this is a great tool. So some of you really like to still stick with paper and pencil. That is fantastic. But what I have my kids do is they complete the assignment, but they also take pictures of it to document that they actually did it. This is called analogous work. So really keeping true to, if you do hands-on stuff, have the kids take a picture of it and insert it within their portfolio. So that is another option that you can do. What's nice about this is my students actually created a video, and they were able to show that video to the rest of the students who maybe didn't get to see theirs. The students could go back and look at this, which was really nice. So this is just one example of things that you can do. We have the new unit coming into play, so all my kids' units are over here, and then now they're starting to build these for this next unit. So if you have any questions, please feel free to always ask, and I will be more than happy to help you. I hope this is helpful.